طيب، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. حياكم الله وبياكم، أهلا وسهلا، أهلا ومرحبا. To today's event, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to do is Ustad Awad should be joining us any moment, inshallah. I'll start off the event as soon as he joins, inshallah ta'ala. We're just going to ask him one quick question and let him partake in the event, and then inshallah we'll continue with the rest بإذن al-Kareem. حياكم الله. How's everyone doing today? طيب. All right. I'll start off the. Let me share my screen.
Opening brightness.
طيب. So here we are once again. Another cohort of the Arabic Conversational course. Can you see the screen, by the way? There we go, actually. So, alhamdulillah, we've done cohort 1, completed it. Done cohort 2, completed it. Now we're here at cohort 3. Walillah alhamd. And first and foremost, obviously, I know that I think most of you know me, but I think it's still worth introducing myself. I'm your brother Muhammad bin Abdul Wali. And basically, I'm a student here at King Saud University doing a master's degree, and I love teaching Arabic. I've been teaching Arabic for quite a while. And alhamdulillah, we teach the Arabic Conversational course. It's the third time round, like I said, and which is based on the Al-Arabiya to Bayn Yadayk curriculum, which is a curriculum, alhamdulillah, that I've been certified as one of the certified teachers. And the actual instructor that has taught that certification course is Dr. Awad himself, who should be joining us any moment, who has a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of experience. He's here actually, a wealth of experience when it comes to teaching Arabic as a second language. He is a professor at the Arabic Linguistics program or Arabic Linguistics Center at King Saud University, where he teaches the students Arabic. He also specifically specializes in training teachers on how to teach Arabic. So he's with us here today. أهلا دكتور، كيف حالك؟ أرجو أنك بخير.
أهلا وسهلا.
كيف أموركم؟
الحمد لله بخير وصحة وعافية.
حياكم الله. أهلا وسهلا بك بين إخوانك وأخواتك في هذا البرنامج المبارك إن شاء الله.
نسأل الله لكم التوفيق والسداد والإعانة.
حياكم الله. وقد عرفت بكم يعني قليلا.
أهلا وسهلا بكم جميعا.
حياكم الله دكتور.
حياك
فإن شاء الله نرجو منكم فقط، يعني أذكر آخر مرة قد سألتكم سؤالا، وهو ما نصيحتكم للإخوة والأخوات الذين حاولوا تعلم اللغة العربية مسبقا ولكنهم لم يوفقوا؟ هذا السؤال قد تم طرحه.
نعم.
ننظر ما هو السؤال اليوم. خلينا نسألهم. Last time we asked the Ustad, Doctor, we asked him what his advice was for brothers and sisters who have tried to learn Arabic before but were not successful. So that was a question I came up with, mainly because out of experience, I figured out that most people that want to learn Arabic have had multiple failed attempts. So there are obstacles and there are things that are standing between them and learning the language, but everyone has the intention to learn, mashallah, and everyone has the the zeal to learn the Arabic language, but not everyone is successful. So he talked about that last time. We'll share that clip with you, inshallah. But for today, what question shall I ask the doctor? I thought I'll leave that to you. I want someone to pose a question that is fairly general, inshallah, and that everyone can benefit from. Similar to the question that we posted last time, which was advice regarding those who try to learn before. So we want a general advice, inshallah, or I'll just leave it to the doctor if you want, and he could just tell us from his experience. So I'll give you a couple of more seconds, inshallah. Does anyone have a question? If you have a question and it's time to write it, just write, yes, I have a question, and then we'll wait for you, inshallah. طيب هنا سؤال. طيب تقول الأخت: ما نصيحتك لأخت، وخلينا نقول الإخوة كذلك يعني بشكل عام، لمن يريد ولمن يعتقد أنه يستطيع أن يتعلم اللغة بنفسه. So the question is, what to advise a sister, and I said a sister or brother for that matter, who believes that she or he can learn on her own, can learn the Arabic language on her own. I think that's a good question. ما رأيكم يا دكتور؟ لمن يعتقد أنه يستطيع أن يتعلم اللغة بنفسه أو أن تتعلم اللغة بنفسها.
حقيقة أولا أشكرك يا شيخ محمد على إتاحة الفرصة
حياكم الله.
للقاء بالإخوة محبي تعلم العلوم الشرعية واللغة العربية.
حياكم الله، شرف
الحقيقة
لنا.
هو هذا الموضوع، التعلم الذاتي للغة، أيا كانت اللغة هذه، لغة عربية، لغة إنجليزية، إلى آخره. اللغة من طبيعتها أنها هي تفاعل بين الناس.
نعم، لو سمحت لي سأترجم جملة.
لا، تفضل.
طيب he said that after saying thanking us for attending and for organizing this, he basically said that language, regardless if it's Arabic or any other language, by default in its nature, it's something that is based on interaction between people. Now,
طبعا تعلم اللغة ذاتيا هو ممكن، لا نقول هو ليس ممكنا، هو ممكن يستمع. تفضل.
he said we're not going to say it's impossible, it's possible. طيب how is it possible now?
لكن هو نادر، ولأشخاص ما شاء الله متميزين عندهم قدرات يعني على التعلم الذاتي أكثر من غيرهم.
He said it's possible, but it's highly unlikely, and is maybe only possible for a very select few people who have this specific ability to learn by themselves, if you like.
لكن أغلب الناس لابد أن يتعلم من خلال المعلم، احتكاك ببيئة لغوية، استماع لمقاطع الأشرطة، مشاهدة مقاطع تعليمية، يتعلم بهذه الطريقة.
He said for the vast majority of people, the default is that someone needs to learn from a teacher. He needs to learn by interacting with his fellow classmates, by listening to clips or watching educational videos related to the language and the likes.
نعم. هل هناك سؤال آخر من
نعم.
الأخوات؟
نعم، في سؤال آخر للإخوة والأخوات. يقول السؤال، يقول السائل والسائل، لست متأكد، هل لابد أن نكون في بيئة عربية حتى نتعلم اللغة العربية؟ Do we need to be in an Arabic environment in order to learn Arabic? هل يلزم ذلك؟
كما يقولون بالإجماع لا يلزم.
He said by consensus is not a must. أنا كتوك ممكن أنا أتكلم من تجربة شخصية يعني. I personally learned Arabic before I came to Saudi in the UK. So the Sheikh said by consensus it's not a must that you have to be in an environment where people only speak Arabic. And I just wanted to interject my personal experience as well. نعم.
وخاصة الآن مع وجود التواصل، وجود المقاطع المرئية، أصبح يعني تأكيد أنه ممكن يعني.
Especially now, he said, with technology and communication from a distance and all these learning resources that are available online, especially now, it's definitely not a must that you are in an Arabic speaking environment. نعم. طيب جزاك الله خير.
حياك الله.
يقول هذا السؤال يتكرر كثيرا.
جيد.
وهو: ما هي أحسن طريقة للتعلم؟ هل أتعلم المفردات أولا أو أبدأ بالنحو؟ هذا سؤال يعني قديم.
لا هو جيد، هذا السؤال حقيقة جيد جدا.
ايوه
هو إذا تقصد النحو فعل زائد فاعل مفعول به فاعل مرفوع فاعل منصوب صفة منصوبة، هذا فيما بعد ليس
ايوه
الآن.
ايوه
الأفضل أنك تأخذ حوارات وتتعلم هذه الحوارات وتستخدم هذه الحوارات، والحوارات هذه فيها تراكيب فيها مفردات، قليلا قليلا تتدرج، وبإذن الله سينحل الموضوع بإذن الله.
نعم. So the question is, what's the best method to learning vocabulary first or grammar? And like I said to the doctor, I said this is an age-old question. And he said it's a good question. But the reality is that if you mean by grammar, going into the intricacies of grammar, just فاعل مفعول به and proper what they call syntax or analysis, then he said you're better doing this later. Okay, rather you should start off with exposing yourself to different dialogues and different texts, which themselves have grammatical structures that you'll eventually pick up on. And he said that's a better approach to start off with grammar. And I think that's in line with أظن هذه كما قلتم يعني أصلا مطابق لكتاب العربي بين يديك، عندهم هذا المنهج يعني.
نعم.
So this book بين يديك أصلا, this is one of their educational philosophies, if you like. So I remember when I did the training, that's one of the things that they stressed, which is, don't, if you like, turn it into a grammar syntax course. Yes. Rather, focus on the structures, basically. هذا سؤال أظن سهل. يعني تقول الأخت هل نتعلم الفصحى أولا أو اللهجة الدارجة؟
نعم. لا شك أن الفصحى هي الأساس في التعلم والتعليم. الدارجة تأتيك إذا كنت في مجتمع ما تأخذينها من المجتمع، ليس بحاجة إلى التعلم ومن هذا القبيل يعني.
نعم. So the question asked, should we learn Fusha first or dialect? The answer is that the origin or the asal or the principle or the first thing you should learn is the Fusha, no doubt. And as far as dialect is concerned, it's not really something that you study. It's just something that you pick up if you live within an environment where they speak a certain dialect. You don't really study it or learn it systematically. هذا السؤال ممكن نجعله الأخير. تقول أنا أتعلم أو أدرس الكتب الجامعة الإسلامية أو تعرف كتب الجامعة الإسلامية اللي هو مدينة بوكس، كتب المدينة. هل أستفيد لو انضميت إلى هذا يعني اللي هو هذا الكتاب اللي ندرسه العربي بين يديك، يعني Conversational course اللي هو المقرر هذا، هل تستفيد منه لو كانت تتعلم
هل كتبت السؤال بالعربي أو بالإنجليزي؟
لا بالإنجليزي.
لو أنها استفادت من الكتب لاستطاعت أن تكتب بالعربي.
صحيح.
يعني اسألها هل تستطيع أن تكتب بالعربي؟
طيب. So the question I asked, if I'm learning the Medina books, will it be beneficial if I join this conversational course? He said that if it were beneficial, yani the course that you're taking now, you had benefited from it, then you would have written your question in Arabic. And he's asking, can you write it in Arabic? And I think the doctor here is pointing at a very important point here, which is that this particular course, as the name goes, the Arabic conversational course, it's about conversation, it's about expression, it's about using the language in order to communicate with others. So he's saying that, and this we've seen this, a lot of people that take the Medina books, they'll understand some grammar, but they still can't, if you like, string together a sentence. So this particular course focuses a lot on you actually writing sentences, getting feedback on it, taking part in the workshop, speaking to the teacher, your fellow students, getting correction. It's exposing you to the language. So can you write it in Arabic? Then write it in Arabic inshallah and prove the Ustad, prove the Dr. wrong inshallah. أقول لها تكتب نشوف إن شاء الله ماذا كتبت. طيب. آخر سؤال معلش.
يلا بسم الله.
يقول إذا بلغت عمر 40 هل
نعم.
يمكن أن أتعلم اللغة العربية ولا يصعب؟ والله يقول بلغ أشده. هذا يقول
طبعا
40.
لا توجد دراسة
نعم
تثبت أن هناك عمر معين لتعلم اللغة،
نعم.
بل يقولون أن تعلم اللغة الثانية يساعد على تقوية الذاكرة وإن شاء الله عدم الإصابة بالزهايمر.
أيوه أيوه
هكذا تقول بعض الدراسات يعني، ولكن
صحيح
ليست دقيقة. لا،
صحيح
تتعلم، لا تقلق، تتعلم يا أخي الكريم.
صحيح. So the question I asked, when you reach the age of 40 years old, is it possible to learn Arabic or difficult to learn Arabic? He said that there's no studies or anything scientifically proven that there's a certain limit, age limit to learning a new language. Rather, if there are any studies that prove something, then there are studies out there that say that learning a second language actually improves your cognition, and it sort of also protects you from those sort of diseases that affect your cognition, such as Alzheimer's and the likes. So he's encouraging you and saying to you that absolutely, it doesn't matter what age you're at, you should learn. And we have students, alhamdulillah, that are studying with us now that are older than 50 years old. يعني عندنا من الطلاب يا أستاذ تجاوز ال 50 الحمد لله ويتعلمون.
ما شاء الله.
أيوة. So don't hold back إن شاء الله. نعم.
المهم العزيمة والإرادة والمثابرة، أهم شيء.
أيوة نعم. جزاك الله خير يا دكتور.
حياك الله.
نشكرك على المشاركة.
شكرا جزيلا، وأسأل الله لكم التوفيق جميعا.
الله يحفظك.
وأنا سعيد بالمشاركة معكم في هذا اللقاء، ونراكم الله خير في أمان الله. مع السلامة.
بارك الله فيك يا دكتور. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. طيب excuse seek your excuses for not posting all of the questions. There are a few more other questions still here. Maybe towards the end, I'll try and answer them, inshallah ta'ala. But for now, let's go back to our presentation, inshallah, for those of you that are interested in this course, who want to have more information regarding the course, inshallah. Now, this info that I'm going to give you, it's not much different from the same information I've given when we're doing cohort 2. So those of you that have been studying with us, that attended the last kickoff event, it might sound a little bit repetitive, so please be patient, inshallah. And I'll try and be as concise and quick as possible. Now, about this course, then the first thing you need to know is the curriculum that we rely on, which is the Bayna Yaday curriculum. In my opinion, one of the best curriculums out there. And I've done a clip talking about the Bayna Yaday curriculum, what sets it apart, what makes it special, comparing it to other curriculums. So inshallah, I advise you to watch that clip, and I'll post the link on the Telegram channel, inshallah ta'ala. Those of you that are not yet in the Telegram channel, please make sure that you join, because that's where we obviously share everything. And I'll share the link with you as well here on Zoom. Okay. There you go. So we're doing Bayna Yaday, okay? And I've talked about why this curriculum. Now, the next question is, which level should I join? And I think this is a lot of the questions that you have posted just now have to do with the level that you should join. Now, obviously, I can't answer this on an individual basis. I can't tell you which level is best for you. In order to do that, you will have to do a placement test. So alhamdulillah, we got a placement test, online electronic placement test, free of cost, that you can take, see where your level is. But please, if you're not intending to join, then please don't take the placement test, because it takes resources from us to mark the exam and get back to you. So those that are serious about joining, inshallah, take the placement test so that we can tell you which level to join. But don't just take the test for the sake of it, inshallah. Okay. So which level should you join? Now, the book, we call them level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 8. All right. But they're also considered 4 levels. So it depends how you look at it. You could call it 4 levels, each level being 2 books. Or you can call each book a level, 8 levels. So when we say level 1, level 2, level 3, we're talking about books. So book 1A, which is unit 1 to 8, first mustawa is level 1. Book 1B, which is units 9 to 16, is level 2. Now we're going to start, inshallah ta'ala, book 2A, which is Al-Mustawa Al-Thani, right? The green book, from 1 to 8. And like I've said before, it's a major jump. It's a major jump from the previous level. When you start doing level 2, and I'm going to show you some of the exercises that we've taken from the book, it involves a lot of writing. You'll be writing paragraphs, sometimes even pages. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Level 2, I think a lot of people, they underestimate. A lot of people, they're like, hey, you know what? I've done it before, Ustad. I'm going to wait for level 4. I'm going to wait for level 3. Believe me. And please, if any of my current students, and I think some of you are here in the chat, please explain to the students or share with them, yes, what your understanding of the levels were and what they turned out to be. Because like I said, these courses are very, very active. You're going to be doing every single exercise in the book, plus on top of that, we got added exercises as well, right? And they're fairly challenging. So do not come with the mentality of, I've done book 1 and 2 before, let me start at book 3. No, I really doubt that you've done book 1 and book 2 the way you should have done them. Okay, so that's why I say take the placement test. The placement test will prove what your true level is. Okay, so don't try and think of what level you should go based on what books you've done before. Some of the students that are studying with us now, they've done book 1 and 2 before, but they have expressed that they have majorly benefited from doing these courses again, or these levels again, at a much higher level, really engaging with the content and doing every single exercise. Okay, right. So what are the learning outcomes? Well, for one, we're going to focus on the 3 language domains. We've talked about this before. I'm going to share the clip, inshallah, what's meant by language domains, which basically is vocabulary, grammar, and sounds. You all know what vocabulary is, you know what grammar is, but sounds is something that, you know, most people are oblivious to. Watch the clip, inshallah. Like I said, we can't really revisit everything in this kickoff lecture every single time we do it, because it's going to be boring for those students that have heard it before. But I'll share that clip. Please watch that clip. I'm going to share about Arabic language domains, okay? And that will answer your question as well, which is, which one should I learn first, vocabulary or grammar? This will answer your question when you look at the bigger picture, okay? Also, when it comes to Arabic language skills, all of you know that the Arabic language skills are just like any other language: reading, listening, speaking, and writing, right? But these are, when we look at these skills, these are the higher order, high level skills. There are some skills that come underneath that on which these skills are built, which people normally forget about. That's why I call them the forgotten skills. Such as, when it comes to reading, people, they know reading, they talk about reading comprehension, i.e., let me read a page and understand what it says. That's fine. But you can't do reading comprehension if you don't have reading fluency. If you can't read, if you don't recognize the letters, the harakat, and you can't pronounce it, and you can't tell what the word is, you're not going to comprehend the text. If you mix up between the ya and the ta, you're not going to understand what it says. So reading, the ability to know the letters, that's a forgotten skill that a lot of people overlook. When it comes to speaking, all right, fine. Speaking, expression, people understanding you. Before we go to speaking, actually, let's talk about listening. It's a receptive skill. When it comes to listening to a lecture by a sheikh, understanding it, that's comprehension, that's important. But there's another skill on which that skill is built, which is sound recognition, actually recognizing the sound that he's pronouncing. Did he say a kaf or a qaf? Did he say a ayn or a hamza? Very important. When it comes to writing, then obviously maybe you can write a paragraph that someone can understand, but what if it's full of spelling mistakes? So dictation, knowing which sounds correspond to which letters, how they are written, even handwriting, a forgotten skill. And finally, when it comes to speaking, okay, if you actually make up a good sentence, but you are mixing up between the qaf and the kaf, what's going to happen? The person you're speaking to will not understand you. He will misunderstand you. You will say something like, "Uhibbuka min kalbi." And he'll be like, "Kalbi? What are you talking about? Kalb means dog." But you're actually meant to say, "Uhibbuka min qalbi." I love you from my heart. So pronunciation, again, a forgotten skill. People don't focus on perfecting and correcting their pronunciation. So when we say Arabic language skills, yes, these higher skills will get there. They're built on your vocabulary and grammar. But more importantly, we focus a lot on these forgotten skills as well. In terms of the learning outcomes, I would say check the website. We have everything written there. I'm going to share this with you, by the way, which is the website link for those of you that want to sign up then you can have all the information on this website, inshallah. So on this website, I've put down everything that you need to know about this course. Talks about the curriculum, talks about the projected learning outcomes, talks about why you should choose this course. I mentioned 5 reasons. And one of the ones that really resonates with the students that they really love from the feedback that we've gathered so far is the workshops. The workshops, by far, one of the most, if you like, popular things that we offer, which is taking part in a small group with other 5 or 6 students with the teacher, whereby we put you on the spot by giving you speaking prompts and other activities that we do that basically sort of like force you to speak. All right. And obviously these workshops, they have very small number of students per class. So a small number of students, I mean, we average 5-6 students per class. Okay. That's the average. Okay. Because even the class, even if we take on, let's say 12-14 students from the brothers, we split it up between me and Dr. Awad. So Dr. Awad takes like 6 students, I take like 6 students, and then we switch. He takes the other 6 and I take the other 6. Okay. And there are other things as well. These are the pricing tiers. You'll know the difference between the flexible self-paced and the premium cohort. Read these carefully. Okay. And then this talks about the scholarship, if you like. Now for the scholarship, it's the same thing. You just click on the apply now button and you fill out this application form, and it will ask you at the end if you want a scholarship or not. And we'll talk about scholarships later on, inshallah ta'ala. Some of the feedback from some of the students, and these are some of the frequently asked questions. So refer back to the website, inshallah, for further information. Now, in terms of the course calendar, now the course will take place during study period 3 and study period 4 in accordance with the academic calendar, which basically is starting from next week. So the start date is next week, the 24th December. All right. And the end date is basically 12 weeks after that, which, please help me out. It's basically just before Ramadan. Okay, we'll finish just before Ramadan. Okay. Right. A sample week, the timings. Okay, the timings, as far as the timings are concerned, it's going to be Saturday and Tuesday. Okay, that's for level 3. Level 1 is also going to be Saturday in the evening, right? And the second day is probably going to be Monday. It's Monday. Monday from 9 to 11. So the way we do things, I'm going to show you now what the sample week looks like. So a sample week looks like this. On Friday, you get your pre-unit assignments. And I'm going to show you this on the portal, actually, so you can see it for yourself, what we mean by these assignments. So let's go, for example, I'm just going to show you level 1 as an example. But obviously, same thing applies to level 3 as well, inshallah. So I'm just going to show you level 1 as a sample, inshallah. Okay. Share the screen. Barakallah feekum. Those of you commenting in the chat with some of your experiences. I mean, I encourage all of you, if any of the students that have been studying here before, please answer the questions that the new students might have, because you actually have experienced it. I'll leave that to you, inshallah. Barakallah feekum. Feel free to answer their questions. If you have any questions, those new students, you want to ask questions, there's at least 5 or 6 students, I think, that are going on to level 3 now. They've been studying with us for 2 levels, the third one now. Ask them any questions, inshallah, that you have. This is basically the course overview page. So once you fill out the application form, I'm going to send you a link to this. All right. This for the self-paced one, the premium cohort, similar. It talks about the book, the format, the instructor, how long it is, and duration and the likes. And here you have access to some of the learning resources. So this section here for week 1, it's free. And then you can access it for free, just as a taster. But as all the other ones are locked, obviously, they'll be released when the time is right, if you sign up for the course, obviously. But if you want to have like a taster of everything, then just click on any of these, inshallah. and it's going to take you to the course player. So this is how it looks like. This is obviously outside the live lectures. Okay, these are the things you do in your own time. So this is something new that the old students haven't managed to experience. It's a lot of new things. This is one of them, which we call the dialogue reading practice. Okay.
الوحدة الأولى.
I basically I took the videos or the dialogues
الحوار الأول.
and I created a small video that you can use to practice your reading fluency. So let's see how it works.
انظر واستمع. السلام عليكم. وعليكم السلام.
So first thing, you watch the whole dialogue, okay?
اسمي خالد.
And as you can see, we tried to make sure that the writing is clear, it's big. That's one of the problems that we had with the PowerPoint slides. The writing was too small. So this one, as you can see, the writing is really big.
ما اسمك؟ اسمي خليل. كيف حالك؟ بخير والحمد لله. وكيف حالك أنت؟ بخير والحمد لله.
So that's step one, which is actually reading the dialogue, following along, okay? And then after that, it's going to give you the opportunity to practice by yourself. Okay, it's going to give you the opportunity to practice by yourself.
والآن.
So basically, it's going to say, جاء دورك, انظر واستمع. Now it's going to say, وأعد, and repeat after. So it's going to be a space in between.
انظر واستمع وأعد. السلام عليكم.
So now it's your turn to say it. Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام.
How's your turn? Wa alaikum assalam.
اسمي خالد. ما اسمك؟
Then you say, Ismi Khalid Masmuk. So you use this video as much as you need to practice your reading fluency. And I always stress this, my dear brothers and sisters. Reading fluency is key, something people overlook. Listen carefully. If you can't pronounce and read these dialogues fluently from the screen or from a book, then don't even hope that you are going to speak them fluently without a book. You see what I mean? واضح? Yani you're hoping that when you're in a conversation, speaking with someone, you'll be able to speak fluently. But your state is that with the book in front of you, you can't even read fluently. How are you going to speak fluently? So don't overlook this. That's why we made these videos, inshallah. And that's why we're going to have workshops as well, whereby you actually read to the teacher and the teacher corrects your pronunciation and you develop this fluency in reading. And with this practice as well, believe me, these words will stick because you're going to be reading them often. You're kind of like, I'm not going to say you'll memorize them, but you'll kind of like half memorize them. And I think I've shared with you many times before that my teacher who taught me Bani Yadayk, one of the first books that I took, and that's why I love this. And this was back in 2003. Oh man, I'm feeling old. So he used to make us memorize these dialogues, like the Quran. Like literally we'll memorize. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Ismi Khalid Masmuk. Ismi Khalil. Kayf haluk? Bikhair alhamdulillah. Kayf haluk ant? Bikhair alhamdulillah. He used to memorize it and read it to him like Quran. Now that might be a little bit over the top. If you can do that, then fine. But what did I benefit from that? We benefited from that now these sentences, we can say them fluently. This is here. Okay. Now I don't advise you, and I don't say to you, you have to memorize these sentences, because one of the strengths of this curriculum is that these sentences are templates. Okay, which means it teaches you how to put the suitable word where to put it. So you wouldn't say, for example, Ismi Khalid Masmuk. Your name is Ismi Muhammad or Ismi Fatima, right? So it's going to teach you how to use the correct words, right? So you don't memorize this sentence per se, but it's good to memorize a sample sentence on which you can build all your future sentences. So that's the reading practice. After that, we've got something called the dialogue worksheet. And this, mind you, is what you do before the lecture. This is what we call pre-class. Okay, this is the homework that you do before the lecture even starts. So please keep that in mind, okay? So this is what we call the dialogue worksheet. So hope it loads. Okay, I think these haven't been uploaded yet. I'll show you them in a moment, inshallah, no problem. And then you have vocabulary flashcards. Okay, I think I need to go to one of the older lessons where everything is actually being uploaded. Let's take the current ones, actually, the current course, the one we just finished. Let's use that as an example. So right now we just finished the Arabic conversational course level 2 premium cohort. So I'm going to show you that, inshallah. Can you all see the screen? Let's go to a preview course player. Okay, so this is how it's laid out. So let's say dialogue worksheet, okay? So dialogue worksheet basically is the questions from the book. So you're going to have the dialogue here on the right. You can still refer back to the text in order to answer these questions. You can also listen to it. And then you answer these questions. You answer these questions. And you will notice that some of these questions are written answers. You have to write the answer. So what's going to happen is you write the answer and then the teacher will mark it for you and give you feedback. So here, for example, في أي فصل من هذا الحوار, you're going to write in Arabic. After you submit it, you're done and you submit, you put your name and your email address, and then the teacher will mark it, give you feedback, correct all your mistakes, and you're going to receive it back as a PDF, okay, with all of your mistakes, okay? Obviously, that's for premium cohort. The self-paced students, then when you submit it, you're going to get sample answers that you can compare your answers to, but a teacher will mark it, okay? That's the self-paced student, okay? So these are dialogue worksheets. Also, one other really important thing is which a lot of students, they love, which is the vocabulary. We got vocabulary flashcards, okay, which you just go through the flashcards, you just expose yourself to all the different flashcards, okay, and you practice them. And at the end, you click here the practice, you choose practice, and then what happens is at the end, it's going to basically it's going to allow you to retake the words that you got wrong, okay? Then when you're ready, you do the vocabulary practice on Quizlet. So this one is going to ask you questions, you're going to answer them, and it's going to give you a score at the end, okay? So this is what some of the students were mentioning when they said that, like one of the students mentioned in the chat, I've never been able to retain so many vocabulary words as much as I have done in this course. This is one of the reasons. These Quizlet flashcards has been a major benefit for the students to retain vocabulary. Okay, then we have sound recognition practice. Again, something like I said, a lot of people overlook, which is recognizing the correct sound. So this one, you hear a sound, okay, and you pick the word that you think you heard. Okay, ضفة. He actually said ض, okay, not the ذفة, okay. Then we have the listening comprehension. Again, all of this is taken from the book. So all of this so far is taken from the book. We just made it electronic. Okay. So you listen to the hiwar, the conversation, and then you answer these questions. And again, teacher will mark it. Then we have the writing expression, same thing. It involves writing. Yes. For example, this question, you pick one of these words and you put them underneath the correct picture. And then reading comprehension is the same thing as well. You read the text and then you answer, you submit that to the teacher. And these actually are not pre-class, by the way. Pre-class is up to here, vocabulary practice. These exercises you do after the lecture, okay? And then towards the end of the week, you're gonna have grammar practice. So this, again, this is something not from the book. These are extra exercises that I made, okay? And they're on quizzes. I think most of you are familiar with quizzes. And you get to practice the grammar concept. So I took this, well, I took the sentences from the book, but this exercise is not in the book. So you get to practice, and also it has a level of competition in it as well, okay? It's a bit competitive because you'll be playing against all the other students. So for example, it says here, هذه is it 40 ريالا 40 ريالا or 4 ريالا, okay? So 40, okay? And then it's going to show you where you are on the leaderboard, basically, okay? So these are grammar exercises. Again, something very popular with the students. And then finally, you're going to do a vocabulary test. So after the whole week of practicing, you're going to have a vocabulary test. And also there's going to be an end of unit quiz. And after every 2 units, you're going to have a quarterly test, which is taken from the book, okay? So this is like an overview of the learning resources, okay? Going back to everything else. Oh, not Surah Al-Baqarah. Where's the Arabic conversation? Because here we go. Okay, so again, Friday you do the pre-unit assignments, like we said, the dialogue videos, worksheets, flashcards. And then on Saturday, we have the live class. In the live class, we do an introduction talking about the unit's learning outcomes. And then we go over the different dialogues. We listen to the dialogues, we repeat after them. Then we cover the vocabulary, make sure you understand all of the words. Then I explain all of the grammar concepts within that unit, okay? And then we preview what's going to be done in the workshop, okay? And then we do a competition at the end. Again, something that students, they love. We do like a vocabulary competition at the end of every lesson. Then we do the workshop. Inside the workshop, again, like I said, you focus on reading fluency, you focus on speaking to your fellow students, you focus on, anything to get you to speak. Then you're gonna have midweek assignments. You do from Sunday to Monday. You practice reading fluency, you do the vocabulary flashcards, you do listening comprehension, sound recognition. Then we have our lecture again on Tuesday. Same thing. We do a quick recap. I go over the homework and address common mistakes, which we call learning opportunities. So places where students made mistakes, we correct those mistakes and we figure them out together and we explain why they are wrong. So this is a source of a lot of gems, wallahi, even for myself, right? Student makes a mistake and I'm like, why did he make that mistake? And I try and explain it and it opens up a sea of insight for myself and for the students. Then we cover some of the supplementary vocabulary. We talk about some of the related grammar skills that are a bit extra. And then we do some writing practice. We do a competition again. And then we split up for the workshop where you do speaking practice, pronunciation practice, and the likes. And then you do your post-unit assignments, reading comprehension, writing expression, and then end of week assessment. Now, if you want to take away anything from this, it's the fact that this course, you're going to be busy throughout the week. If you think is one of those courses whereby you turn up for the lecture on a Saturday, then you go missing, and then you turn up Tuesday lecture, la. If that's what you're looking for, this course is not for you. This course is designed to keep you busy, immersed, to keep you wrestling with knowledge throughout the week. Okay, that's why when it comes to the course prerequisites, then the first thing I say to you is that if you don't have the time to attend and complete all the assignments on time, then I say to you, this course is not for you. Now, you might ask, what are the estimated time requirements? How much do I need to invest into this? I say to you, 4 hours at least for the live lectures and workshops, minimum. There are supplementary workshops that you can sign up for optionally if you want. And I would say roughly 3 hours for assignments. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Don't forget level 1, huh? Don't give me your answer based on level 2 and level 3. I know level 2 and level 3, it's slightly more challenging. But level 1, for example, sisters, and brothers who actually done these courses, please let me know what you think in terms of time requirements. Am I correct if I say that total 7 hours per week minimum? Obviously you can spend more time if you like, but if you don't have 7 hours per week minimum available, then you're going to struggle. Yes, classes are segregated, definitely. The workshops. Lectures are just like this. I explain things, but then we do the workshop segregated. One of the brothers said, the concept of pre-class, post-class, and mid-class helped me a lot in being engaged with what's happening in the class and also to retain many vocabulary. If you follow this pattern within deadlines, inshallah, there will be no need for sitting down to memorize vocab because they will be there in the memory due to lots and lots of repetition, due to listening templates and flashcards. Also, the templates get stuck in our heads and we end up using it in the market. Yes, barakallah fiqh. And that's how the curriculum is designed. The curriculum is designed in a way whereby it gives you the dialogue, which has vocabulary and grammar concepts, and every single exercise that you do in the book, it's related to those words, those sentences, and those templates. So it's kind of reinforcing what you've learned before. Okay? Right. Also, one of the other prerequisites, please, is that if you're shy of speaking in a small group setting, then I think these workshops are not for you. Because I wrote this one out of experience, because there were maybe, I don't know about the sister side, but there's a brother or two that signed up, and when they came to the workshop, and the teacher calls upon him and says, Yalla, Fulan, and they're put on the spot, they kind of like, they weren't comfortable and they stopped attending the workshops. Now, this is going to happen. In the workshops, when you're taking part in a workshop with 6 students, and you don't have to worry, we're not putting on YouTube. These are segregated private workshops. If you can't speak comfortably, or you can't even if you're not even bothered to give it a try to speak in a setting with 6 other students, and you can't do that, then I think you should give up on your hope of speaking the Arabic language. Because how else are you going to speak? I always tell the brothers, and the sisters, I always say that, these learning Arabic language skills, the only way to develop them is to do them. You won't get better at reading Arabic language and comprehending it unless you read. You won't get better at writing the Arabic language and expressing yourself unless you write. You won't get better at speaking the Arabic language and expressing your feelings by way of speech unless you speak. And likewise, you won't be able to listen and understand what the scholars say unless you listen. This is common sense. You want to learn how to speak Arabic, but you don't want to come to a workshop and speak. You want to sit passively like a passenger and just listen to all the other students speaking. I say to you then, no, it's not going to work, Malish. Also, if you can't read the Arabic with vowel marks, fluency is not a requirement, but at least you can't read it accurately, then also I think you're going to struggle. All right, steps to join. First things, join the Telegram channel if you haven't. That's the first thing, definitely. Secondly, fill out the application form. Let's quickly go over the application form so that in case some of you are stuck, you know what's required, inshallah. The application form is pretty straightforward. It's very, very easy. Okay. Let's see 1 second. Let's do a preview. So once you click the link, like we said on the landing page, here, no. Once you click the link here, any of these links actually apply now, this one, whenever you feel like clicking it, it will take you here. All right, it will take you here, which is the application form, right? So when it comes to application form, you click start, you put your name, you put your last name, email, very straightforward. All right, come on, please. Select your gender. Then you select the level you're interested in joining. Now, you might know that you need level 1 because you know you're a total beginner, and maybe you've been waiting all this time to join level 3. Okay, choose level 1 and level 2 and level 3. Level 2 is not offered at the moment, but if that's your case, then pick level 2. Either way, unless you pick level 1, if you pick any of these 2 levels, you're going to do a placement test. All right, and if you're not sure, just click on I'm not sure, I want to do a placement test. Then it's going to ask you to select the tier you're interested in. Again, it's going to remind you of the differences between the tiers. Obviously, the flexible self-paced is cheaper, but like I said, it doesn't have the workshops and the teachers, because obviously that's what is the greatest source in terms of costs for us, which is these workshops, right? So you can study by yourself, self-paced. And what I mean by self-paced doesn't really mean do the course and finish whenever you like. You still be doing it with us to the best of your ability, but you have more time. Specifically, those people that can't make it for the live lectures, they tend to go for self-paced. But if you can make it for the live lectures and you want your homework to be marked and you want to take part in the workshops, then definitely premium cohort, you should go for that. Then if you go for premium cohort, it's going to ask you how do you want to pay for the course. Now, there are 3 options. You can either make the full payment, okay, and you'll receive a 10% discount, all right? Or you can apply for an installment option, which I can't guarantee, but we'll send you like some sort of payment plan to help you. I mean, we preferably don't offer installments, mainly for the reason that if you go for installment, if you sign up and we reserve you a seat and you're paying on installments, and then after 2 or 3 weeks you pull out of the course, now we're in trouble, right? Because now that seat is gone. Okay, so that's why we charge upfront, so that we can reserve the teachers, the amount of teachers that we need for the workshop, so that we can plan ahead. But nevertheless, if somebody is struggling, they can't pay, we do offer installment option, on a per case by case basis. Or if you can't afford the cost at all, which is £227, like we said, we don't turn anyone away. We do offer some scholarship seats, but again, I have to remind you, every single time, I think last time 120 people applied for a scholarship. And even every time we do the course, vast majority of students are scholarship students, right? But having said that, if we accept all the scholarship students, or we have 90, 80, 70% scholarship students, we can't pay for the course, we can't pay for the cost, we can't pay for the teachers' wages. So it's not going to work. So some people have to pay in order for others to be able to take a scholarship, right? And also another thing as well, you might go for a scholarship, but then by the time you receive a reply, if you don't get accepted, the premium cohort seats might have been taken already. So again, I can't guarantee you anything. So think carefully if before applying for that. Okay, maybe installment option is a better option for you. But like I said, the spaces are very limited seats. On average, we turn away 80% of the people, not because we want to, but because we don't have enough seats. We can't offer more than that based on the number of people that are applying for scholarships. So let's say if you go for a scholarship, no problem. Then what's going to happen is, once you submit it, it's gonna give you a link to fill out the scholarship application form. If you are chosen to make full payment, it's gonna give you a link to make the full payment. Now, make the full payment even before you do the placement test, because even regardless if you join level 1 or level 3, it's not gonna make a difference, right? It's the same price. And if it turns out that level 1 is not good for you, or level 3 is not good for you, or for whatever reason, it doesn't work out for you, then we give you a refund. So I'm not sure if I've mentioned that already, but we've given refunds before. You know, if the course is not for you and it's not working out for you, the level's not right for you, the time is not right for you, no problem. We offer a refund. So our refund policy is that we offer a 7-day money back guarantee from the day the course officially starts. So not even from today when you make the payment, starting from the 24th of December for 7 days straight. You don't like it, you get your money back. So if within the first week you feel like these courses are not for you, just send us an email, we'll refund your money, inshallah. Okay. And the scholarship seats, like I said, you fill out the application form. We review the submissions within 48 hours, inshallah, and we'll tell you that either you're accepted or we'll say to you you're rejected. And I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you straight away, I'll tell you why the vast majority of applications are rejected. Because we have some people that help us sponsor for scholarship students, right? And I remember one of the individuals that sponsored some of the seats, he gave a suggestion, which is spot on. He said, do not give a full 100% scholarship whereby you give them a seat on the course and they pay nothing. Why? Because what tends to happen is people don't take it serious. Okay, and we have experienced this already. Whereby someone whatever comes in easy, you lose easily, right? So don't put down when it says how much can you afford. Don't put down 0, please, right? Because unless obviously if that's your situation, I don't mind. I'm not going to say to you we don't accept any scholarship students that put 0 down. We do accept students. We have given some students full scholarships, but your possibility of you getting it's going to be way less. Okay, mainly because we try to avoid giving full scholarships. But if someone says I can afford 20, 30, 40, whatever, we don't look at how much you can afford. Yes, as long as based on your situation, at least you're sacrificing something. We're giving you a seat that we could have given to someone else. So at least in return, you need to sacrifice something. I don't care what it is, right? Just so that you appreciate the seat a bit more. Okay, this is something that has been proven, has been experienced throughout. Anybody that gives scholarships, this is something that is known, right? Unless you can't, then put down 0. I'm not going to stop you, right? We have accepted students on a full scholarship before, but it's not as likely. So you're going to be either accepted or you're going to be rejected, or we'll put you on a waiting list. Waiting list basically means that, hey, we would love to accept you, but there are other students that fill more of the criteria. Let's give them a chance to sign up for the scholarship. If they don't, then we'll reach out to you. So if you have been accepted, then you have 24 hours to secure your place. All right. If you don't, 24 hours go by, then we'll offer the place to the next in line. So that's when we reach out to those on the waiting list. So if you get a message saying you're on the waiting list, don't lose all hope, inshallah. Okay? Barakallahu feekum. So that's how you secure your seat. In terms of, we already talked about selecting the payment option. Full payment redirects to the payment page, scholarship redirects to the scholarship application, and installments, we will review and send you a payment plan. So we'll just reach out to you via email. In terms of placement test, now, if you have a high pass, you join level 3. If you have a low pass, then maybe you should do a crash course and then decide. And we're thinking of doing the crash course. I'm not sure about it. But if you fail, then you should register for level 1. Okay, so that's how the placement test basically works. Okay. I'll talk about refund policy and talk about how to make payment. I mean, I think that's it really. Unless anybody has any questions they want to ask, I think I'm done with my presentation. Someone's asking about Beni Yadayk being translated. No, Beni Yadayk is not translated. As a matter of fact, the authors of Beni Yadayk are completely, utterly anti-translation. They believe that you should learn the language in the language. Now, I break that rule slightly, okay, because I do give my instruction for level 1 and level 2, particularly in English. Level 3 might be slightly different. There'll be a mixture of Arabic and English. So I do break that rule, but you're not going to find Beni Yadayk that's been translated. Okay, but you don't want it to be translated anyway. The book actually being all in Arabic, beginning till end, it works in your favor because now you're immersing in the language more and more, and you will not fall into the trap of learning the language through another language. What's wrong with learning a language through another language? The problem is that now instead of taking a shortcut, you're taking the long way. So, for example, you think about ordering something to drink, right? All right, and you know how to say it in English, a drink, but you can't think of the word in Arabic. So now you start thinking about the word in English, drink, and then you translate that to shut up. Now that is a long way. It's much better if you associate drinking with shut up. That's a shortcut. That's how you want to think. That's how you want to learn a language. You don't want to learn a language by going through another language. So this whole way learning a language as a translate, unless you want to turn into a qualified translator or something, don't look for translations, please. I'm here to explain to you the words that you don't understand. All right, take notes, no problem. But to have it fully translated, I guarantee you're going to start relying on that translation, and you are not going to put yourself in the uncomfortable situation of trying to understand the sentence in Arabic. I guarantee you. How often is the fee paid? Well, the fee is paid once for this level, right? No, it's not for the full 2-year program. The full 2-year program is 8 different levels. Each level you pay the fee. All right. And this course is a 12-week course. I mean, please tell me where you find a course that costs £200 for 2 years. I'm the first one to sign up, no matter what course it is. That's obviously not, it doesn't even make sense. We're talking about a course whereby you have workshops. Just the workshops alone are like 24 hours of interaction with a teacher in a small group of workshop, 24 hours, if not more, up to 30 hours. That's excluding all the lectures. That's excluding marking the homework that you put in. You're going to put in homework, a teacher is going to sit down and manually mark it and give you feedback. All of this for 2 years for £200 doesn't make sense. Well, I wish I could offer it for that price, but that doesn't even cover the cost, obviously. So yeah, you pay at every level. Barakallah feekum. Do the ones that pay get blessings for the scholarship students? That's a good question. Everything is by intention, my brother. If your intention is that, hey, I'm going to pay the premium course, I'm going to pay the full price so that I can facilitate these classes for those that want to have a scholarship who can't afford it, then everything's by intention. And bi'idhnillah al-kareem, inshallah, you'll be rewarded for that. Bi'idhnillah al-kareem. Okay? So if you mean will you get the reward for facilitating these classes? Naam. I mean, it's an effort which is basically it's an effort we all do together. So I do my part, the teachers in the workshop do their part, you as a paying student do your part, the scholarship student does his part, everybody, we're all together on the journey together, helping each other, allowing to facilitate these sort of classes. So definitely. Sorry, I missed the placement test information. Where is that test, please? So you fill out the application form, you express your interest to take a placement test. We get back to you, we send you a link to the placement test, you do the placement test, we mark it, we get back to you, we tell you how you've done. All right? So fill out the application form. That's where it all starts. Allah yahfadak. Could you please send us the link to register for level 1? Again, it's the same link. Fill out the application form, choose that you want level 1, and we get back to you, inshallah ta'ala, with everything else. Okay? So it all starts, the application form will take you. You put the information that relates to you in the application form, we'll provide the rest. Do you mind repeating the timing again, please, particularly for level 1 classes? Level 1 classes will be every Saturday, I would say at 8 o'clock Mecca time. Okay, roughly 8 o'clock Mecca time. And Monday at 9 o'clock Mecca time. Okay, Saturday and Monday. Level 3 is going to be Saturday at I think around 9. Yeah, 9. So because I'm saying I think because timings for the salawat and the hour changes, these sort of things, they come in play. But let's say Saturday evening, Saturday night, or evening for you in the UK, and Monday evening, Saturday evening and Tuesday evening for level 3, Saturday evening and Monday evening for level 1. At what stage do you expect students to be speaking Arabic fluently, after 2 years or before? Definitely before, 100%. I expect you to start speaking Arabic fluently by level 4, which is roughly after a year. Okay, and then the other year is basically just becoming more and more acquainted with the language and reading more advanced texts. So alhamdulillah, some of the students right now that are studying with us, some of them here in the chat, they're speaking up to a certain level in those situations, those scenarios. They can speak fluently in those scenarios. Okay, and then they've done 2 levels, and I think inshallah, and I believe that after another 2 levels they'll be able to speak fluently. So there's one student that I've taught before. There's 2 students actually. I've taught them from level 1 all the way up to level 3.5. I would say we didn't finish level 4. Okay, and they were writing pages, alhamdulillah. And one of them now is actually, I spoke to him I think 6-7 months ago, and he's listening to the Durus of Sheikh bin Uthaymeen and taking notes, and basically he's fully immersed in the language now, alhamdulillah. So I do, out of personal experience, I do expect you to be able to speak at level 4, okay, in al-Kareem. And then the other 4 levels is just to get you more and more specialized. Now, if you finish all 8 levels, you will be stronger in Arabic than many students that have graduated from Islamic universities. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm honest. Because most of the students that study at Islamic universities, right? Sorry, maybe not after they graduate. Let me correct that. Not after they graduate, but those that graduate from the Ma'had, from the actual linguistics department. Because from my personal experience, I know a lot of students, they finish the 2 years Arabic program and their Arabic is still very weak. Okay? And it's basically because universities, they're quite laid back. They don't put in a lot of, teachers don't give you homework, and if they give you homework, they never mark the homework. I'm telling you personal experience. You go to university, you attend the lecture, you passively, and then you just cram for the exams, and that's it. You just about pass. This is the state of many of the students that study at those ma'ahid. But this course is different. Now, this course, you can't be a passive student. I'm telling you, you cannot take this course and passively learn. Unless you're on the self-paced. The self-paced, take your time. But the premium cohort, you can't do it passively. At least you won't keep up. How many spaces are there for premium, and what's the deadline for payment? The spaces for premium for level 1 is 16. 16 for the brothers, 12 for the sisters, roughly. Maybe up to 16 for the sisters maximum, depending on if we find another female teacher, right? But it's looking at 12 maybe. So 16 for the brothers, so 8 and 8 maximum. But having said that though, there are some scholarship students that have those places. And there are students that already signed up last time. So there are students that signed up when we launched Cohort 2. They couldn't join level 2, and they waited until now to join level 1. It's about 3 or 4 students. So those 3 or 4 spaces have been taken. There's maybe another 12 left for the brothers, and maybe the sisters 12. So in total, we're looking at 26, 28 spaces for level 1. Level 3, obviously, there's a whole group of students that have graduated to level 3. So almost half the spaces have been taken. So maybe 10 or 12 spaces maximum on level 3. The fees are £227. But if you pay the full payment, it's going to be £200. Let's say £200. £200 for a 12-week course, inshallah. £200 for a 12-week course. American dollars, I don't know how much is that. 250, 240, I'm not sure. How many workshops per week? Minimum 2 workshops per week, but there are optional workshops you can take. Is this included in the 4-hour live class you mentioned earlier? So the 4-hour live class is a 2-hour live class, actually. 2 hours on Saturday, 2 hours on Tuesday or Monday. So it's 1 hour live lecture and 1 hour workshop. So that's 4 hours in total. That's the mandatory time that you need to attend. Then there are optional workshops that you can sign up for. How long to do 8 levels? 2 years, give or take. Okay, depending on you, obviously finishing level after level, but roughly 2 years, maybe 2 years and a half. Allahu A'lam. For self-paced students, if stuck somewhere, who and where to reach out to? Inshallah, I'll open up a Telegram channel, inshallah. A Telegram group, actually, to be more precise. So you can reach out to me, inshallah, in the Telegram group, and I'll give you assistance, inshallah. What is the time for the mandatory workshops? Same time as the lecture. So lecture for 1 hour and then 1 hour workshop. So if we said Saturday evening, Monday evening, Tuesday evening, depending on level 1 or 3. So we do a lecture for 1 hour, then we break up for workshops. Okay. Barakallahu feekum. If anyone needs to leave, you can leave, inshallah. The presentation is done. I'll just answer the questions as they come up. If you want to join level 2, we wait 12 weeks. Yes. Yes. If you want to join level 2, you wait 12 weeks. But nevertheless, having said that, I would probably advise you to do level 1. Right? Because again, from personal experience, I still have not come across a student who has done these courses the way they should have done. Most students, if not all students that I know, they've passively took these courses. They either watched YouTube videos or they even took it in an institute, but the institute wasn't really pushing them on doing the homework, right? Because like I said, this is a challenge with the book, which alhamdulillah, I hope we've solved. All of our exercises are electronic, which means the teacher can easily follow up what's missing, who's missing, and whatever. Whereas when you have exercise in the book, then how many institutes do you know where the students, they submit their book to the teacher opens their book, checks their exercises, marks it, and then gives it back? You know, they do that in school, right? But I don't think they do that in institutes. I highly doubt that any institute does that. When they should do that, actually, that's what these exercises are for. When Baini Dek has exercises, who's meant to mark it? Is the student meant to mark himself? No. But still, having said that, I barely came across teachers that actually take the books from their students, they mark it. All right. And I think the book is the problem, because this is very physical. It's very intrusive, if you like. But when it's electronic, it's a different story altogether. Because now with the electronic exercises, number one, more than half the questions are automatically graded. So when you have something like multiple choice question, something like drag and drop, like connect the lines, we don't need to mark this, it's automatically graded. Then you have these questions whereby you write a sentence. These are the ones that the teacher gives you feedback on. So alhamdulillah, with the electronic exercise, we've already kind of like decreased the workload by 70%, so that we can focus on the 30% of the work, the words that you write, so you can get personalized feedback on that. Will you share installments plan in Telegram? No, installments plan is something very personalized. You need to reach out to us, inshallah, fill out the application form. We'll get in touch with you, inshallah ta'ala, see your situation, and we'll try and figure out something that works for you, inshallah. So installment plan, like I said, it's not something that we normally offer, but we do offer it to those who are in need of it. Obviously, terms and conditions apply. So reach out to us, inshallah ta'ala, and we'll figure something out. Barakallah feekum. Taib, inshallah, I suppose I'll... can you share your website? Yes, I think I have already. I'll share it again, no problem. There you go. Right, inshallah. So I'll suffice with that. Again, I'm on the Telegram channel. Just feel free to reply to any of the messages, comment on any of the messages with any questions that you have, and I'll answer them, inshallah. Alternatively, you can reach out to us at admin@binabdulwali.com. I'll type that here, admin@binabdulwali.com. That's our email. Or you can reach out to us by messaging the bot, the Telegram bot. Okay? I'll send a link to the Telegram bot on the Telegram channel as well. So these are the avenues for reaching out to us, inshallah ta'ala, with any help that you need. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا Muhammad. جزاكم الله خير everyone for joining us, and I really look forward to seeing all of you in class very soon. Wassalamu alaikum wa